I'm teacher Pamela, and today I'll be going through a PSLE past year question from the year 2021, paper 2. And it will be question 15, a money problem. So let's begin. Helen and Ivan have the same total number of coins. Same is the key word, so let's underline. Helen has a number of 50-cent coins and 64 20-cent coins. We are given an exact value, so let's underline as well. The total mass of the coins is 1.134 kilograms. So we are given that her weight of the coins is 1.134. Let's underline. Ivan has a number of 50-cent coins and 104 20-cent coins. Underline 104. Part A asks, who has more money in coins and how much more? Part B asks, each 50-cent coin is 2.7 grams heavier than each 20-cent coin. What is the total mass of Ivan's coins in kilograms? So this question gives us a lot of conditions. What is one way that we can visualize all these conditions? With models. So let's begin by drawing Helen's model. If Helen's model is this long, how long will Ivan's model be? It will be the same because they have the same total number of coins. Next, Helen has a number of 50-cent coins and 64 20-cent coins. So let's add the 64 in. So, over here, this will be 64 20-cent coins. And what coins will these be? 50-cent coins. And how many? We don't know, so let's put a question mark. Next, the total mass of the coins is 1.134 kilograms. Let's add that in as well. Ivan has a number of 50-cent coins and 104 20-cent coins. So let's add the 104. Will 104 be longer or shorter than 64? It will be longer. And what kind of coins will these be? 50 cents. Do we know how many? No, so another question mark. Now part A. Who has more money in coins and how much more? So we want to find the difference in the total value between Helen and Ivan. What is the most direct way that we can find this? It will be to calculate the total value of Helen and the total value of Ivan so that we will know who has more money and how much more. But are we able to do that over here? No, because we don't know how many 50-cent coins they both have. So how can we solve this question? Let me give you a simple example that will help us. So we have Teacher Smith and Teacher Yijie, and they both have a lot of candies, very delicious sweet candies, and they stuff them into the left and right pockets. Now we don't know how many they have in both of their left pockets, but everyone pay attention. It is equal numbers. Alright. Next, Teacher Smith has 38 in his right pocket and Teacher Yijie has 12. Now the question is, can you find the difference in the total number of candies between Teacher Smith and Teacher Yijie? You may pause the video to think. The answer is 38 minus 12. Why do we not need to consider this part? It is because they are equal and they have no difference. So when we have common parts, we can ignore them and focus on the difference. So here is the summary. When we want to find difference, we can ignore the common parts and focus on difference. Alright, so let's see how we can use this to solve our question. Back to part A. Can you find any common parts between Helen and Ivan? How many 20-cent coins do they have in common? Was your answer 64? So we can box this up, and what can we do with the common parts? Ignore, so we can cancel and cancel. Now, what is the number over here? It will be 40. 104 minus 64. And let me write it on top. Now, don't forget what kind of coins are these? 20-cent coins. So, now, are there any common parts for 50-cent coins? Yes, over here. And what can we do with the common parts? Ignore. So, cancel and cancel again. And what kind of coins are these? 50-cent coins. So, we can ignore the left, ignore the right, and focus on the difference. Now, are you able to see who has more money in coins? The answer is Helen, because when we focus on the difference, Helen has more 50 cents and Ivan has lesser. So 50 cents is higher in value, so Helen will have more money. And how much more? It will be 40 times 50 cents minus 40 times 20 cents. And that will give us $12, our answer for part A. So if everyone understands this question, let's move on to part B. Each 50-cent coin is 2.7 grams heavier than each 20-cent coin. So we are given the difference in mass for one 50-cent coin and one 20-cent coin. What is the total mass of Ivan's coins in kilograms? At the start, we were given the total mass of Helen's coins. So how can we use this to find the total mass of Ivan's coins? We can find the difference in mass. So let's try it together. Firstly, let's look at the common parts. Will they have different masses? No, they will have the same mass. So once again, we can ignore the common and focus on the difference. Now the difference here is 40 50 cents and 40 20 cents. How can we find the difference in mass? We can just take 40 multiplied by 2.7 grams, which gives us 108 grams, equals to 0.108 kilograms. And how can we find the total mass of Ivan's coins? Since Helen has more 50-cent coins which are heavier, we can just subtract this difference from 1.134 to get our answer, 1.026 kilograms. And this is how we can solve this question. So let's take a recap on the summary. So to find the difference, what is the first thing that we should do? Students who are listening carefully will know that we need to ignore the common parts and focus on the difference. And we have come to the end of the question. So if you have any other questions regarding PSLE, feel free to scan the WhatsApp QR code to join our PSLE study group. And with that, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!